Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. We're gonna do an update on Chainlink. I've got 3 bullish news and some areas of liquidation that we are currently approaching. That together with the next levels of resistance, you probably wanna stay up to date if you are in a position on this particular coin. Guys, if you like this type of content, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell to get notified every time I put out one of these videos. Let's look at the weekly time frame on Chainlink. You can see that we are doing pretty good progress approaching the neckline of this double bottom in here that is located at $17, and after having broken out from this falling channel that, remember, initially was a failed breakout from a falling wedge that managed to get into around $17, but we have to move the line like this to accommodate and turn it into a parallel channel, which is currently for a second time breaking out. But if we get into that level of 17.5, of course we need to be aware of the potential additional risk of approaching that order block that failed the previous rally. It failed, but it managed to put a higher low, and that's why we are here now for a second round. On the other side, that failure initially was from this breakout that we have to move the line like this. That is forming a double bottom that is promising, if things continue bullish for Bitcoin, to eventually reach the first resistance at 62. If we go on the price action and we look up for that resistance, which actually I put it as 63, is more or less located at $21. If we can get into that resistance of $21 and maybe seeing an initial rejection, then we can start talking about the actual target of the double bottom. This double bottom starts from the neckline of 17 and reaches around $10 to $11. So if we place it like this, that can get us into $25, meeting with this order block way higher, of course, than the initial resistance of 17.5. Getting into 17.5 is challenging because at that point we have kind of a resistance in here coming from the volume at 18 cents, $18, and then at $20. Those are the two stones in the way for us to really get into 25. When it comes to longs versus shorts, Chainlink is still at the very low. So we could say that this is a late runner, and it's also the magnitude of the run has been a lot smaller than what we are seeing with XRP, SUI, and even with Ethereum. When we look at the socials, things are just starting to warm up for Chainlink. We are getting into 3% attention across all social networks, but still far from 7%. So it is calling attention, but the news are really just about the price action pretty much. Chainlink targets 18 amid a technical breakout, so that is just an analysis. We have the Mastercard July 6 partnership and July 8 CC IP upgrade. Yeah, that's coming in. That's why it's an 8 out of 10. Then we get a 7 out of 10 with Chainlink surges on institutional adoption, technical upgrades, and key partnerships. Real world assets is a thing for Chainlink. And when it comes to CryptoQuant, it's also looking pretty good so far. Before we go and check out where are those liquidation levels on Chainlink, I remind you that there is a link in the description, and if you open an account for bluffing, you're definitely supporting the channel. Notice that pretty much with every deposit, you get a bonus associated, and with any trading volume. This is a non-KYC exchange, so you can open the account very quickly, support the channel, and start trading with altcoins, leverage, and Bitcoin. There is a liquidation level that is coming in to Chainlink very closely at around $17.5, and that's definitely gonna contribute to get into that level and test the breakout. After all, we failed to do so around mid-May and came back down to $10, so hopefully this liquidity in here and the additional buying pressure that is coming from the positive crypto market performance should be helping getting us there. I also have some heavy liquidation located in here at around $19.3 that comes from the order block around here in mid-February that was formed. And if we wanted to identify our risk at the moment, well, I will start by saying that $15.6 is the heaviest pull, followed by 14.6. And looking at price action after such a move like this, a retracement into $14, $15 is something that you need to be able to manage. just to wrap it up, I think that Chainlink is dragging behind other coins that are taking the spotlight at the moment. There's nothing particularly bearish when it comes to news or technical analysis. Really, it's just taking its time to get into the initial resistance of the double bottom. We got some good motivation to get there, but not necessarily for the breakout, apart from the general positive sentiment in crypto markets, in Bitcoin. If we manage to conquer 17.4, look out for the resistance coming in at 21. That is the level that we can get with the revenge rally on the weekly. 25 is definitely doable, but I will say leave some alert as we approach 21, just to watch out how we react at that level if you're running along. Once we get to 25, I'm pretty sure that we are gonna settle a visit with the most bullish targets of extension of 1 or golden pocket at $47. And that is something that we could still get, because so far the structure is bullish on the weekly. We have higher highs and higher lows, so I don't see why we wouldn't get into $33 to $47 if we get an actual altcoin season. Always check my videos on Bitcoin as well to see how things are going, particularly the video of Bitcoin that I did today. Sneak into the timestamps, because when I cover updates on how we are doing with stable coin dominance and we approach levels of support there with all this market that is very diluted across so many coins, even if we reach those targets, maybe these coins are not going to have enough liquidity to run that high. So take it one step at a time will be the caution approach that I will take. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.